My name is Caroline Stahala. I am with Audubon Florida. And what Audubon's mission is conservation of birds, wildlife, and their habitats. And what we do here along the Gulf Coast is primarily protect a nesting seabird and shorebird species. Here in Northwest Florida, we have several state-listed bird species that we are focusing on, and those are least terns, black skimmers, snowy plovers, and Wilson plover species. And those species nest in our area, mostly along the coast, so our sandy beaches, the dunes, and sandy areas behind the dunes. What we do is we come along and we find these areas where the birds are nesting, and we will add postings, so signs along the nesting area to indicate that there are nests there, that there are nesting birds there, and that these birds are protected. The thing about these nests is they are directly on the ground. If you listen to the story about the seagulls used sticks to build their nests. These birds that we're protecting actually don't make a nest out of any sort of material. They're directly on the sand. So the eggs and chicks are completely camouflaged. And if people don't know that these nests are there, they can inadvertently step on them and harm either the eggs or the chicks. So what we do is we try to prevent that from happening. We're on Navarre Beach right now, and the Navarre Beach Turtle Center has an exhibit on some of the coastal life in the area. And what we're looking at right now is basically a model of a nesting site for some of our local shorebirds. So these are snowy plovers. They are state listed as threatened. And every summer we come out here and we will actually put up the little do not enter posting to let people know that there is nesting going on in the area. And you can see that the birds are kind of camouflaged with the sand and also with the shells. There actually is one plover that's sitting on eggs right now. And those eggs are incredibly camouflaged and really blend in with the sand and the shells. So we just make sure that people do not enter into those sites and accidentally step on some of these nests and disturb the birds. In some areas, you will see that there are posted speed limits while birds are nesting, and that's either at Gulf Islands National Seashore or along the Navarre Causeway. And that's because there are chicks and adults, so the parents, that are flying back and forth or even actually walking on the road. So if people are driving too fast, they can't react quickly enough if a bird is in the road. So by driving slower, which is usually 20 or 25 miles an hour, you can react quickly enough if a bird does end up in the road. Seabirds and shorebirds are dependent on our coastal system, and their primary food source comes from that coast or from the water or interaction of water and the shoreline. So these tend to be small invertebrates, so either shelled little critters or worm-type critters that are in the sand, and they will take their little bills, at least the shorebirds do. I'm sure you've seen that running up and down the coastline, pecking, and they will pull those little invertebrates out. Some of our seabird species, they of course will consume invertebrates. usually crustaceans, but they tend to be more fish eaters. So you'll actually see them either diving or skimming along the tops of the water for fish. So plastic actually is a major problem when it comes to threatening our seabird and shorebird species. And this happens in a couple of different ways. One is we regularly find fishing line entangling our birds. And some of these fishing lines actually still have hooks on them, and those hooks get caught in wings or in beaks, or the birds will actually swallow them. So you never want to leave a fishing line out. You never want to cut your line. You always want to make sure you take everything you brought out for fishing back with you. Also, any bits of plastic that are out in the water or that wash from land to water can end up looking like food for our birds and other species like turtles. And they will then consume that plastic, and they can actually starve to death because either it gets impacted so they can't actually absorb any other nutrients, or it fills up their stomachs to the point where they die because they don't have any real food sources.